In today's video, we'll be continuing Japan Series 2.0 by making legendary swordsman Zoro from the Japanese manga series One Piece. But before we get started, a little backstory. Eddie's World is in Japan. Eddie's World is in Japan. Eddie's World is headed to Japan. Every year, Eddie's World takes a family trip to Japan. We didn't even take off. But it's not all fun and games. We bring a bunch of Akedo Warriors with us to have what we call loser stays battles, which is pretty self-explanatory. The loser of the battle stays in Japan forever. Now, not everyone agrees with this tradition of ours, but we're not doing it to litter or cause any problems. It's our hopes that a kid will find it and it'll make their day. The thing is, Japanese people don't pick up things that don't belong to them. So this year, I'm gonna do something my cousin suggested last year. If we do leave a warrior, I'll attach a note explaining the whole situation, and even then, I don't know if it'll help.
Oh, thank you. Guys, the little boy returned him to us.
But there's one thing I do know. When we first started filming Loser Stays battles, you couldn't find Akedo Warriors anywhere in the land of the rising sun. But on our last trip, we saw them in multiple stores. Anyways, back to our Loser Stays battles. Throughout the years, we've lost a lot of Akedo Warriors. We even came close to losing Stormstrike and Lord Shifta.
Yes!
But nothing hurt as bad as the time we had to leave one of our custom Akedo Warriors. It was actually our first One Piece character, Monkey D. Luffy. We eventually remade him and he's way better than before. With that loss fresh on my mind, I want our custom Zoro warrior to meet several requirements. First, he needs to look good and be instantly recognizable. Second, he needs to be OP, that's overpowered, as in a lot of power. And third, I'd like to be able to mass produce him. Now that we got the rules in place, let's start the build. With all our trips to Japan, you wouldn't think finding One Piece parts would be a problem, but it really has been. The Zoro figures that I found on eBay have either been too small or too big. And even this head that I thought was pretty good turned out to be the child version of Zoro. So when I saw this eBay listing for Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro, I instantly purchased it. 2 months later, and it was in my hands. These One Piece figures look so good, and as much as I want to use them, not only for Zoro, but also to replace Luffy's head, and possibly even make Sanji in the future, they're way too big. But there may be a solution for this. A long time ago, I remember watching a video of the Craftsman. You guys know who the Craftsman is, right?
The Craftsman.
In that video, he explained how to shrink molds. It looks pretty simple. Let's give it a try.
The Craftsman.
Since I don't want to cut up this expensive Zoro figure, I'm gonna suspend him upside down in this cup using a piece of cardboard. Then I'll mix up some silicone. This is the mystery ingredient that causes the mold to shrink. It's mineral spirits. I'll add it to the silicone in a 1-to-1 ratio, then thoroughly mix. Now I'll submerge Zoro's head into our mixture and cross my fingers. Every single time we've traveled to Japan, I've searched high and low for miniature One Piece figures, and the only time I've ever seen them was in gashapon machines.
Oh, I thought it was Luffy. This girl.
Trying to get a specific character out of a gashapon machine can be very expensive.
No, I thought it was Luffy because the hat.
And sometimes impossible.
That's $7 I spent. Last time, parked here. Only because we lost Luffy. Luffy! Oh, I thought that was Luffy. Alright, I'm stopping.
So needless to say, I've never gotten any usable One Piece figures from Japan.
At least we got 3 grapefruits.
While we're waiting for the shrinking silicone mold to dry, I think we need to select a new starting figure for Zoro because I've been saving all these 3-strike ninjas to make more Sam Warriors. Terabyte Ninja is from the exact same mold as 3 Strikes Ninja, making him a perfect replacement. Since I'm planning on mass producing the Zoro Warrior, I'm gonna completely disassemble the figure before we do any work on it. And I guess I'll use Baby Zoro's head for the time being. Now that I've grinded off all the unwanted details, I'll mix up a batch of epoxy sculpt and start giving Zoro some muscle. For Zoro's coat, I'll switch over to green stuff because I find it to be firmer and more elastic than epoxy sculpt, and I prefer it anytime I need to make draping or loose clothing. That's pretty much it for Zoro's body, and I think it looks good even with Zoro's baby head.
Did you know?
Japan is full of awesome, clean parks. And on our last trip, you may have noticed, we filmed the Charizard battle in one of those parks. Oh! Ready? Fight, split strike.
Oh my, you hurt your finger.
Luckily, Charizard easily won his battle, and afterwards, Eddie and Clark decided to have a race. When you touch the mat of this slide, that's when it stops. 5 seconds. He's got a blocker. He's got a blocker. 20, tie.
Again.
The silicone has had over 24 hours to dry, and it still has areas that are uncured, which tells me that I probably didn't mix it properly and it never will fully cure. So I'm gonna remove our model at this point by cutting it out, and then I'll check to see if the mineral spirits caused any damage to our Zoro figure. Zoro looks exactly like he did when I got him, and the mold has obviously shrunk. But after going through all that, nothing happened. The model and cast are very close in size. And since we can't use the new head I bought, we'll at least use it as inspiration by giving Zoro a bandana. Fabrication is now complete, but before we paint, I need to make a mold of each individual part. Which means I need to completely disassemble the figure. In total, there are 8 pieces, not including the base plate, that I'll strategically attach to a cup and fill with mold-making silicone. And since we still have room in the pressure pot, I'm also gonna make a mold of Zoro's weapons. As I'm painting Zoro, I do realize that I know nothing about One Piece. And I still remember that time I tried to watch the Netflix version of One Piece around Eddie and Clark, only to get a scolding from their mom because of the show's inappropriateness. So after you see my finished version of Zoro, I'd really appreciate your feedback, because if I made any mistakes, I definitely will fix it. But I do suspect that some of you will say that I made Zoro way too buff. And that's the one thing that I really love about the figure, so it'll probably take all of you spamming the comments for me to change that. While I was painting, I poured all of our Zoro molds, and now it's time to see if we fulfilled the requirements.
So cool.
See?
It's impossible
Okay, there's the prototype Zoro. He's fully functional and he looks pretty cool. I also tried to use dyes to get Zoro's parts certain colors, and this is how it turned out. I didn't have flesh color dye for the skin, so I used the closest thing I had, which was yellow. After doing a little research online, I discovered that dyes create a translucent effect, while powders or pigments create an opaque effect. So I went ahead and purchased a bunch of different colored powders, like this flesh color for Zoro's head, body, and arms, green for Zoro's coat, and silver for his swords. And this is how it turned out. Like I said before, let me know what you guys think of Zoro in the comments, because I know I forgot something. And please let me know who you want me to make next. If you like this video, don't forget to check out the Eddie's World YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And don't forget to click subscribe so you can see other great videos every Saturday morning. And hit that bell button so you can get notifications. Thanks for watching.